Hello Mention, welcome to Dism channel. So today we're going to start back a trip back to mediumship. So where this will lead back into a mediumship talk, as you all will know. We'll touch base on the antiques. So we went, and the historians. So we went on a voyage of trying to find to the unknown tomb, or the tomb of the unknown soldier. So I apologize. The tomb of the unknown soldier. Not much in my mediumship work am I talking to the living to contact a spirit or ghost. I contact another spirit or entity, ghost, to ask about another ghost or entity there of presence. So in this case was the unknown soldiers. There's a few there that were unlisted. So to contact them, we took another voyage to Queen Anne County, and where there was a camp house from the presence of there from, I believe, what was the date we have? The date between 1812 and 1828, which was a lot of the spirits that were causing the hauntings that were cited today in that time, between that time frame in the camp house. And so there's reportedly been maybe 2 to 3 ghosts, some arguing downstairs. It could have been a couple ghosts, as a couple that lived there, supposedly the Mr. and Mrs. Oliver, or the Sparks that lived there, and it could have been a couple of the soldiers down there arguing, and another place. But one of the guests that had stayed there was Robert D. Lee of that time too. So he had passed through that house as a guest and supposedly stayed there. And right not too far from there is the tavern, which another place. So what good place to do is find a Celo soldier, to talk to a Celo soldier, to have a contact the Celo soldier about the soldiers in the tomb, in the tomb of the unknown missing soldiers, or the soldiers that were and reportedly brought back there and kept. So from there, where would we have to start? I picked up an embassy note from Robert E. Lee. You could see it right there. We had used that in seance as a token paper of significance. So we had used that, and we had followed that from, not lightly after, but we had used that after we followed this unknown ghost to the supposedly Lord Baltimore Hotel, and there we found another paranormal team, Argos Paranormal team, and they're quite great. I will list their channel in below, and everybody just continuing in. This is just welcome into Dism canal, the paranormal channel we have here, and we'll list them also in there, and their clip and their videos, and this will specifically be on mediumship. So because we're gonna post a TV series soon and stuff, not too soon, but a paranormal, so we're gonna see how that goes. If they want nothing but mediumship, it would have to be straight mediumship, away from the magic effects, so we're gonna see how that goes. But back on subject is, the paranormal team have used the technique of dowsing, and dowsing is very accurate. The gentleman in there, he's so superb and sublime at it. And
yeah, okay. So who's moving these dowsing rods right now? Can you give us a name?
First one sounds almost like Brooke twice. I heard that or Burke.
Might be. Is your name Brooke? If your name is Brooke, can you cross these rods in front of me? Did you say Burke?
As Robert.
You heard a Robert?
I heard a Robert.
Is there a Robert here?
I'm in Bert for short.
Oh, Bert, like B-E-R-T. Okay.
Ask if there's a Bert here.
Is there a Bert here or a Robert? If so, can you straighten both of these rods out and point them at Ryan and Carl? Here?
Yeah, here.
Okay. We're talking to a Robert. Is that correct? Just to confirm that we're talking to a Robert, can you spread these rods and touch my shoulders? Can you? All right. Okay, Robert. I think. Yep, there you go.
So just to really confirm that we're speaking with a Robert, because we're still a little bit unsure, point those rods directly at me if your name is Robert.
Good, so you can check out their channel and Accurate, and they picked up on the ghost, spirit or entity, why they were looking for another spirit or entity in the building, or what their original spirit in case of question that they were looking for. And from there, it's very distinct, but you can also hear some Vietnamese and some French in there. And it makes perfect sense of why would the ghost be there at that time, or why would he be at the place like that. And a lot of civil soldiers met up at that place, and a few people from the tavern. I'm not going to go into detail. There's a few people from the tavern that was also in the hotel that's also listed in their video that you can hear them in too, and they speak about. Not knowing if they were, some of them were aware, but there definitely were some people from there. And also 35 minutes from the camp house was the Lord Baltimore Hotel, and also from there is also 33 to 35 to 36 minutes away from the Vietnamese campgrounds also. And you'll hear that in the video as well and stuff like that. But it's actually amazing, and close enough there. So from there, following that and the Amnesty note that I use, I also ran across the Vietnamese story, which is amazing because at the same time they were recording in 2020 was about the same time I picked up the Vietnam story. And that was amazing because it was written during May 2020 as well. And anybody interested in that, you can take a look at that and follow that. But then after, so I also picked up a logistics log, and they tell every exact timeline between the war, between the French, between the Vietnamese, US. It's all listed there. So anybody interested in that, scribe in the commentator and write below or whatever, and I'll send you that, or let me know and I could also email you it. And it also has the whole documentation of the conflict of the regiment that took place through all of that. And in there they serve a whole timeline. I didn't want to go that deep into it, but I have it takes a lot of work. But from the logistics was from 2018, and it also talks about the timeline. So where I reach from the timeline, I only delve into it a little bit, but between 1973 and 1974, I want to say maybe one of the unknown soldiers from the tomb were in that capacity of timeline regiment, maybe, that could have been picked up and carried and taken there between there during the ceasefire. But the whole logistics is covered there by James H. Wilbanks. So you can go ahead and check that out if you want, and I can also send you that. will be no problem if you comment or message me, and I'll definitely send you that or put it in the description below for those who are interested. And also during that time frame, that would be more presumable, but there was just a step about mediumship and stuff. So about the technique they used, dowsing was very accurate. They picked up on the Robert E. Lee, Ghost Spirit Civil Soldier there, and you can hear the calling out, you can hear dowsing. It's very direct, it's very accurate. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it's also actually a presentable use in mediumship in the paranormal. So what they used it for was definitely perfect, and he was phenomenal, and their whole episode was phenomenal, and you can check them out. I'll definitely list their channel. But back to the mediumship, is it didn't want to delve too deep, but you use another ghost or entity to contact another entity to ask them a question about the entity, and it does take a lot out of you. It does take because you're using your soul, your energy to connect with another being or entity that question, and for that seance to take place. So it does take a lot at you, and it brings me back to the paranormal submission that I'll be making a video. So hopefully they might accept the magic effects, but if they don't want any magic effects and they just want straight mediumship, it's gonna be very difficult, but I'll try to put something together, and hopefully you guys will be interested too in that. But we'll list more on my channel, and we'll have the rest of that in the evening to you. So I hope that check you out on my next video. Auf Wiederhören, and see you soon. Ciao, ciao.